Hey guys, welcome to my new video. In this video I decided to explain to you something what I'm currently working with or working on, and it is accessibility. For many of you, I'm sure that this word is not a new term. I also heard about it many times before I actually started getting into it, and I never knew that it's such a huge field and there are so many things to learn, and also it kind of gives you an opportunity to look at the development process in another way. I work now in Germany, and this summer there is going to be a law that existed already for a few years, but it's going to be strictly applied to many companies. And we also want to give to our clients, for example, better service and to make our projects that we develop accessible for other people, for as many people as possible. And that's why I decided to create some sort of video in order to explain what it is and to share with you what I was surprised about, for example. And this area got me really excited and I really want to become an expert in it. Yeah, that's why I decided, okay, that's how I can start. So first of all, I wanted to share with you that actually accessibility, in my head, it was always only for people with disabilities, for example, for blind people. But when I started to actually learn more about it, I understood that no, it's actually for so many people. Imagine that you are a person in a wheelchair and you are trying to enter a building and there is only steps and no, for example, ramp or elevator, and that's it, you can't enter a building. And the same situation we have with websites. So for example, if I'm blind, if website is not accessible and it has, for example, no opportunity to use it with screen readers, then I can't use it. For example, the more spread example is that connected to contrasts. So, for example, I don't understand colors, and then, for example, I'm filling up the form, and the only thing that says me that something is wrong, some field becomes red, and that's it. I don't see it. I don't understand it. I can't fill up the form. I can't understand what is wrong. So that's just a few examples of what accessibility means. And accessibility doesn't actually also mean that everything should be ideal, but it means that we need to develop our website so that as many as possible can use it. So we need to improve our development process, our website, in order more people could use it. That's the point. And also some more examples from my real life where, for example, it could be very good to use accessible websites. For example, I don't know, I am on a bus and I forgot my headphones, for example, so I can't watch video with the sound, so I'm watching it without the sound, and that's it. I need subtitles for it. And if video doesn't have subtitles, this video is going to lose viewers or this website is going to lose users. Let's have more examples of different types of disabilities and how people interact with technology. So, for example, as I told already, there are visual impairments when people can't see something, but actually it doesn't say that it connects only people that are blind. For example, a parent can also use screen readers because he is holding a baby and he can't, for example, use a keyboard or mouse, so he wants the whole content to be read for him. So people with hearing impairments, as I said already, that they can't hear, so they need, for example, subtitles. But also it is not connected only for deaf people, because as an expat, it's really difficult for me to watch really movies or videos with really complicated language. So that's why I also need the subtitles. Mobility impairments, for example, someone who can't use mouse and he needs to use keyboard, but it also can be connected to people who, for example, broke their arm and they also can't use mouse and they need to use keyboard navigation. And for example, cognitive impairments, people who are dyslexic or have other cognitive impairments, but again, as an expat, for example, when I don't know the language really good, I also need a text that would be written with an easy language. And also I would like to underline that another very usual example, it's also responsiveness. And for example, I don't see really good, I want to use a website with 100% of zooming, and then that's it. If website was built not responsive, then everything breaks. And the same for mobile users, because for example, I do really use many websites on my mobile phone when I'm outside the house. And so when website is not built responsive, then I can't use it. And that is also connected to accessibility, which I find really, really great. And I think that before that, when we actually developed mobile first, nowadays we need to already think more accessible first. And it means that not only take into account responsiveness, but also all these things that are connected to accessibility. You have a bad internet connection. It's also connected to accessibility. If you give some service and you want to find more clients, the first thing that you need is to make your website accessible, because it also improves SEO. I also prepared few examples of best practices. Of course, it's like a huge topic and it's impossible to cover it during few seconds. But again, in order for you to understand what accessible websites should do, for example, the website should use semantic HTML, because the same as, for example, you, drive and you see signs, and eventually the signs actually doesn't say you how you should drive or where you should drive, and it says you, gives you some information that is not appropriate right now. So it's the same here. If you, for example, use some div instead of button, and this div is not even, has no row of button, but should have the same behavior, so then you become really confused. Alt text for images should be provided, but again, what I really love about this field, it is that not everything is so black and white, and also alt text, they should have a reason or a purpose. It means that, for example, if you have just some random image on your website that has no informative purpose, then just skip it, and alt text should be empty. But of course, for the images that they really explain about something or that they are important, there should be alt text. Consider that you are at the restaurant and you are trying to order food and you see only pictures, but you have no idea what it is or what it consists of. Like website should have a keyboard navigation, as I already told you about elevator, the same. Because if you can't use mouse, you can't use website. There should be captions and transcripts for videos and any other tutorials. The same as with bus. If you can't use sound, then you need an alternative. Everything should have clear language and logical structure. Imagine you are walking into the store and there is a chaos. So you find, toilet paper in the area where there is milk products. Impossible. And avoid flashing content, because you never know who is using your website. And I know that many think that animations and everything is so cool and great, but in the very end, it is not. It's just irritating, and if there is no option to turn off the animation, just forget it. I would leave the website at the very moment. So that's it. I hope that in this video I could give a proper explanation what accessibility is. If you are interested in hearing more or a little bit more focused content, so let me know in the comments. And yeah, let's just think a little bit more about it, because again, I just can't stop thinking about how my development process has changed and my development thinking has changed, because now you can't just start working on some features without thinking about it, and it's so great and it's so wonderful. I hope that I managed to share with you at least a small part of my development process, and I hope that you found out about something new and it was informative for you. So give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!